Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to Yarn Purpose. Today I have a coffee catch-up. Hey everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back. I'm back today with another coffee catch-up. It's the usual in here, iced coffee, as always. So I just have sort of the usual things to talk to you about. I've got finished object. I'll show you a work in progress. I'll talk a little bit about the other crafts that I've been doing. A lot of yarn came into the house over the last month, so I'm going to show you some of that. And I'm also going to talk again about some of the books that I've been reading. I did get some feedback from last month that some people did enjoy knowing what books I read, so I'm just going to share that quickly towards the end. And then I'll talk briefly sort of about the things that I'm working on at Jen Lucas Designs. So let's dive right in and get to finished objects. I've really only finished one thing, which you'll see when I start talking about the books later on. I've been actually reading a lot and therefore not knitting as much because I've been like reading a lot of books, like physically reading them. But anyway, I did finish the March socks. Ends are not woven in. We know who I am as a person, so let me just slip them here. Here we go. There's one. Again, let's just ignore the end. Put the other one on too. So this pattern was non-Euclidean, which is available on Ravelry. I'll have a link to it down below. And I just really wanted to try it because it had this very cool heel construction that I think that the designer invented. I have never seen it before. So there are my socks. I don't normally try to get them to be super matchy-matchy, but these ended up being pretty matchy-matchy. So there you go. Finished pair of socks, yay. The yarn, just to remind you, is White Birch Fiber Arts. There's her label. And it is an 80-20 blend of superwash merino and nylon. And the colorway is Purple Haze. So you'll remember I've made a bunch of socks with the blue in the in-between, and this has the purple. And then I think I also have one over on my sock yarn shelf there, that has like a really dark gray in between. So I love the rainbow yarn, which you're gonna see more of. But anyway, those are my March socks. And so that's really it in terms of finished objects. I haven't made any more progress on that Brunswick sweater. I don't know, I might bust that one back out in the next few days because I really do want that sweater. So I haven't made any progress on that. So yeah, I haven't really finished anything else at all. So I guess we're just gonna get right into WIPs, works in progress. So we did pick the yarn last month for the April socks, and even though it's the end of April, I'm running about a month behind, but I'm still gonna pick my May yarn today because it's fun to pick it on the coffee catch-ups. But I have started the April socks here, and let's see if the tag is in here. I don't know if it is or not. Oh, it is. So this was the yarn that I picked out of my bag of random sock yarns I put together for April. So this was another Nomadic yarns. As you know, I had a lot of it in there. This is the Twisty Sport, which is 328 yards for 100 grams. But I still knit them on a US size 1, just because I find with the sport weight, the size 1 is fine for me. I'm a pretty loose knitter anyway. And the colorway is Chill in the Air. So I actually decided, I don't know, because I just felt like it, I'm actually doing these ones toe up. So I'm almost to the heel. I need to measure, but I think I just need to do 1 or 2 more stripes. And then I'll be ready to do the heel. I'm just gonna do the German short row heel, which I have a tutorial for here on Yarn Purpose, but you just do the same thing, but you're going toe up instead of top down. So yeah, so that's the Chill in the Air. I realize now as I'm talking that half the stitches came off the needle because I destroy everything, and I had just thrown it in my bag, so we'll worry about fixing that later. But yeah, I'll leave a link, of course, to the yarn I used and everything down below too. So that was really it. And then I am going to show you something that I am working on, even though I guess it's for work, but seems like a good time to share it because it is a work in progress. So I had these two gradient, well, not gradient sets. They were like kind of gradient sets. What are they called? Let's just look at the label, shall we? I had two sets from Leading Men Fiber Arts. Yes. Showstopper Gradient. And it's fingering weight. And so it came with 6 minis that were each 20 grams each. And this is fingering weight. I said that. 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. So they each had 6 minis in them. So I had one that was London Fog, which was shades of gray. And then I had another one that was Cactus Garden Lanterns. And so I didn't know what I was going to do with these, but I started playing around, and now I have knit almost an entire shawl. So here is what I have so far. So it's really bunched up on the needles, but you'll get an idea. Here, let's see. Oh, good. It's a yarn tangle. Okay. So here we go. I love knitting garter stitch. Spoiler alert. Well, you probably already knew that. So it's just 2 row, like basically I'm just striping the London Fog gradient with the other one. And then I'm doing this little like border on the bottom. And then now I'm carrying that same border onto this edge here. So, yeah, so I'm on the 5th of each of the sets here with the green and one of the light grays. And then I'm going to finish it off with the last 2 minis are here. So I've got the lightest gray and then the blue. So I think this is going to be really pretty. Yeah, so this was just something, you know, I've given myself a little time over the next couple months to not have any like real work deadlines and just kind of giving myself a little bit of a break. But I still found myself wanting to design something new, and I just kind of wanted to work on something easy. And this is like pretty mindless. It's a very short repeat to sort of make this happen. So I am going to be putting this pattern out at some point. It'll probably be out in the summer, but I've been working on that and just loving it. So again, those are the Leading Men Fiber Arts Showstopper Gradient Sets. That's really it in terms of works in progress. I've really only been, I've been knitting on the shawl, like basically nonstop when I am knitting. So that's why I've made such great progress on it. I really only started that maybe last week or something. So yeah, definitely cranking along on that. Okay, so I guess before we get into stash enhancements, let's just go ahead and I'm going to pick the yarn for May for my socks. So as always, I'll remind you, at the beginning of the year, I put 12 different colorways into my Socrates I Love You bag. And every month I'm picking a random one. And that's the next pair of socks that I'm knitting. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a mix here. Will I get another Nomadic yarns? I've got to be running out of Nomadic yarns in here. Although I don't know. I don't know how many I put in, because I haven't actually looked in here since I put them in at the beginning of the year. So now it's like I kind of forgot what's in there. Okay, so I gave it a good, oh, see, I looked. Okay, I gave it a good mix. Okay, ready? Ooh, oh, I think do this have a mini skein? I think this went with it. So this is, ooh, it's kind of Christmassy. Well, there's a candy cane little progress keeper on here. It's What's Up Yarn Co. So Amy dyes really beautiful yarn. And this one, let's see. Yeah, it's her Lush Sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It's 414 yards in the big skein and 80 yards in the little mini. And yeah, it's called Santa's Workshop and Pointsettia Red Mini. So, you know what? It'll be great to knit these socks in May because then I will have them ready for the holiday time at the end of the year. So that is what I will be working on for May. I don't know. I'll have to think about, I don't normally do contrasting like heels and toes and stuff, but I'm definitely going to do it since I have the mini skein. So I'll have to think about that a little bit and just sort of decide what heel I'm going to do. Might go for the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I do love that heel as well. The German short row has become my favorite, but I do love a good Fish Lips Kiss heel too. So definitely stay tuned to see those getting it up in May. And yeah, so I guess we're going to just go ahead and get into stash enhancements. There's been a lot of yarn that has come into the house. And, you know, my friends and I, we were trying to do that stash down, and I don't want to say that I've given up. I haven't given up. I've just lost my way. So my friends and I in my knitting group, we're trying to use up 3 skeins of yarn before we like buy 1 skein. So it's like 3 out, 1 in. And you know, I did finish my, my Swancho. So, but I gotta like go back and look, but I think I'm losing right now because, yeah, this month I think a lot more yarn came in than what's been used up, but that's okay. It's okay. We can always improve, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and show you everything that I got. So I'm going to start with the online ordering. So I ordered a skein of yarn from Kirby Wirby. I have never had her sock yarn before. Several of my friends have knit with it socks. It's self-striping, and I've always loved it. So she did this one here, which is Can't Stop the Feeling. I think it's Trolls, like that movie, the Troll movie, you know, like the kid movie Trolls. I think it's based off that, but I really just love the colors when she sneaked it on Instagram, and so I picked that up. So that's going to be going into the sock yarn stash. And then I ordered some yarn from Hopkins Fiber Studio. So she's actually pretty local to me. She's also in the Chicago suburbs. And so I got these two, which are actually kind of similar, but I have 2 different plans for them. So the first one is Sustainable Non-Superwash Extra Fine New Merino Fingering, and it's 437 yards for 100 grams. So you can see it's got, the colorway is stone washed, and it says it's one of a kind. But you can see there's like these beautiful grays and blues in here. And so I bought this one because I want to do like a little sock collection on Ravelry, maybe like in the early fall. And I needed one more sock yarn to kind of go with the other colors that I had picked. You know what? I'm gonna go and get the colors and show you the ones I picked. So I had these, and this one's Anzula Gertie, and it's pretty bright. The camera is making it look like even brighter. But I had this one that I had talked to Anzula about doing a sock design with. But then I got thinking, I've been really enjoying the sock knitting. I've been kind of itching to have some more sock patterns out there. So then I had this Ancient Arts Yarns one in my stash, and I had this Sweet Georgia in my stash, and then I just felt like maybe I just wanted to make it a collection of 4 patterns. So I got this one from Hopkins Fiber Studio. So I think that these actually will look really nice. Like this, they'll each be their own sock pattern. But I sort of like the mix for a little mini ebook. So anyway, that is the sock yarn I got from Hopkins Fiber Studio. And then I also picked up this gradient set. The theme of this is like gradient sets and rainbows, I swear. This is Forever Faithful Gradient. It's 3 ply fingering, 100% new merino wool, and it is 400 yards total, 80 yards each. 80 yards each of the mini skeins. So beautiful sort of blues, sort of like almost like a greenish blue here. So very, very pretty. So I'll leave a link to her website down below. These ship so fast. I ordered them, and like I think I had them. I mean, we live near each other, sort of. So I really had them like the day after I ordered them. I think it was really fast shipping. And then I'm going to get into the yarn that I got at Simply Socks Yarn Company. It's in this bag. So I, earlier this month, went and taught for the guild Knitters of the Dunes. They are a knitting guild sort of based in Northwest Indiana. But they do have knitters from sort of all over, like the south suburbs of Chicago, southwest suburbs of Chicago, and then into Northwest Indiana. And so I taught at their retreat a couple weekends ago, and they made a special trip out to Simply Socks Yarn Company in Fort Wayne, and I had never been there, and I really wanted to go, so I made the drive out there to Simply Socks. So Simply Socks is mostly an online yarn store, but she's open like one day a week to the public, and so it has never worked out before that I was like able to go, because anytime I was like driving through Indiana and could sort of make it work with getting to Fort Wayne, she wasn't open. So I felt like this was my chance to go, so I took advantage of it and got quite a bit of yarn. It probably, I'm pretty sure it was the most sock yarn I've ever seen in a yarn store in my life. And so as you know, the lady that likes to make all the sock yarn shawls, I obviously went insane. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you everything I got. So I first got some of this West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply, rainbow colored, duh. So I got this. This obviously will be for socks because I can't stop making rainbow socks, nor do I want to. So it's just really like a light colored rainbow. It sort of has that feel like the opal yarns have. Let's see, what kind of information can I give you? It's 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it's 437 yards, 400 grams. So I got that. And then I got this. I had never heard of this company before. It's called Stitch Together Studio. So I got these two, and so I got a rainbow mini skein set. So the colorway on this is Murky. This is a 7 skein pack, and so this is 75% superwash, 25% nylon, and 644 yards total. So I don't know, they're probably 20 grams each, I'm guessing, based on the size of them. And then I got this dark gray to go with it, and this is called Wizard Robes, so kind of Harry Potter themed. And this is the Stitch Smooth Sock, which I think that this is too. Well, I think it's the same. And it's also 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, and 463 yards for 100 grams. So I'm going to put these together in a shawl as well at some point. And then I got, oh boy, okay, then I just got these two more things. Not too bad, right? Then this is post yarn, which actually is dyed at the Simply Socks store. They dye their own yarns now. So this is both of these are the Striping Cash Sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. It says it's approximately 393 yards, and the colorway on this is Common Room. And so they had, actually with both of these, they had like sample socks knit up, but these are all, these make small stripes that stripe the different houses at Hogwarts. And the finished sock looks so cool that I just had to get it. And then this is a mini skein that goes with it. And then this one is, I feel like this colorway, like this is maybe not something I would have gravitated towards, but again, I saw the sample sock knit up on the shelf and it was really, really pretty. And the colorway on this is Bright's Grove. Yeah. Oh, and this one does say that the mini skein is 127 yards, 20 grams. So yeah, so that's what I got. And then I also bought, which I already gave to my friend Jenny is always on the hunt for self-striping yarn that is heavier than fingering weight, because she does enjoy knitting other like thicker weight yarn sometimes. So they actually had some worsted weight self-striping yarn there, same brand, the Post yarn, that Simply Socks dyes themselves. So I got her 2 skeins of that because I feel like I don't go a lot of places and see worsted self-striping yarn, especially that's hand dyed. So I got that for her, but I already gave that to her. And then let's see. So that's really it as far as the stash enhancements, but that is kind of a lot. I don't normally, I feel, I don't have to justify it, whatever. I went to Simply Socks. I had never been there before. It was one of those things I just needed to go one time. So definitely went a little crazy, but I love knitting socks. So that's that. So I guess the next thing we can talk about is other crafts. I haven't really worked on any other crafts. So I have made a few more. I didn't even bring them in here. I made a few more Hexies with my English paper piecing Hexies. The other day I maybe made another like 6 or 7 more. So I'm just slowly working on that. But I did want to share with you my friend Jenny, who I was just talking about. She got me a little something here. So I just wanted to sort of share what she got. It was so sweet. She went to, there's a quilt show in the Chicago area in Rosemont that happens every year, and I for some reason am always gone like every year when it happens, so I didn't get to go, but she went with her sister-in-law, I think, and so she picked me up a couple things, which I thought was so sweet because she knows I'm getting into this English paper piecing. And so look at this. It's a little sewing caddy that's a hedgehog. Look at it, and you can put your little like spool on it. Isn't that cute? So she got me that, and then she got me a couple little spools of thread for my English paper piecing, and some needles, which is nice. I'm looking forward to trying these because I just bought the cheapest pack of needles that they had at the craft store. So I'm looking forward to giving these ones a try. Short darner size 11. I know nothing about sewing or quilting, so you know, I've got a lot to learn. And then she got me one of these little the little needle threader. One of my friends, she's been doing English paper piecing, and she had one of these. So I'm looking forward to trying that. What a fun little gift to help my English paper piecing journey along. And then the other thing she picked up for herself, and I'm just borrowing from Fiskars, is one of these Hexie Punches. So you can punch out your own like English paper piecing pieces. I mean, you could use this for scrapbooking and stuff too, obviously. And so I am going to cut out some of my own little Hexies. These are smaller. This makes, what size does this make? She told me. Makes 2 inches. So I guess this widest point here is 2 inches. So my current project, the Hexies are larger. And I just bought a pack of the pre-made templates at, where'd I get them? Joann's, I think. But yeah, it'll be fun to punch out my own. So you could either do this with just index cards or my file cabinet that's over there. I'm going to be cleaning it out soon. It's got a lot of like old like design stuff and a bunch of old stuff in there. So I was thinking maybe if like some of the file folders are a little beat up in there, like maybe the not so beat up part of them, I could cut Hexies out of. So I'm just borrowing this from her, but she got it at the craft store, but you can also find them online too. So I guess that's it for other crafts. I would say cross stitch is back on my radar. I found myself looking, I didn't buy any, but I found myself looking at kits online again the other day. Just sort of perusing, but I have like 4 kits or something that I have purchased from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which I really love their little designs and their little kits. So I kind of told myself I have one that's almost done, and I'm like, finish that one and then see how you feel about cross stitch kits. But so I would say cross stitch is back on my radar, but I haven't done any in the last month. But you may be seeing that in the May coffee catch up because yeah, I think I've been getting in the mood to cross stitch again. So that's it. Okay, now we're going to get into reading. So I, like I said, read a lot this month. My goal for myself was to finish 4 books. So some I had started in March, but I told myself I had to finish 4 books in April. So like I could finish the ones I started in March and then like whatever, a couple more. And so far I'm at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't write them all down here. So I think I finished 5 books already. And then I'm like currently working on 2. So I finished American Marriage, which I talked about last month, and I really, really liked it. And so I had purchased a physical copy of that book while I was traveling, so I passed it on to a friend, so I don't have that one here to show you. But it was really good. You should read it. And then also I listened to the Scarlet Letter, which I think I talked about last time. I like to every few books mix in like one of those like classics, like the ones you're supposed to read in school. So I listened to the Scarlet Letter. I mean, I didn't love it. I mean, I'm glad I listened to it again. I feel like I liked it when we read it in high school. And now I was just kind of like, meh, okay. I don't know. I think I've just been enjoying the other books I've been reading I've been enjoying the other books I've been reading better. It was fine. And then I also listened to Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I had never listened to any of his books or read any of his books before. I had never read Coraline, but I enjoyed listening to that one. And then I also read the book Shrill by Lindy West. So if you have the Hulu, I had watched the TV show Shrill that was on Hulu. And then my friend Beth informed me that it was a book. And so after I finished watching the first season on Hulu, which is only 6 episodes, I encourage you to watch it. It was amazing. I immediately read the book. So that one was 2 big thumbs up for me. I really liked that. And then I read Sing Unburied Sing. I checked that one out of the library. I just returned that one yesterday. Also a very good book. I will leave links, or like at least I'll list them down below, which ones I've read. And then also I now linked my Goodreads to my knitting, like my knitting books that are on Goodreads. I linked my Goodreads profile to them. So if you do use the Goodreads app, you can find me on there. I'm Jen Lucas. See all the books I've been reading. Then I've been listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, which I'm enjoying very much. When the book first came out a few months ago, my husband and I actually went to like her book tour event. It was at the United Center in Chicago, and so she was there with Oprah talking about the book and just different things. It was amazing. And so I finally have made it a priority to read it. So I've been listening to that, and she reads it, so it's amazing. So I'm enjoying that one. And then I am currently reading The Kiss Quotient. I checked this one out of the library. And so this is another like contemporary romance type book. A very quick read. I started this yesterday and I'm like halfway through already. This one's like, you know, I'm enjoying it, but it's like that perfect, like, I don't want to say mindless, but you know, like potato chippy book. Like it's just very easy to read. I'm enjoying that. So those are the books that I've been reading. And then I guess I'll just finally get into a little bit about, more work stuff. So I showed you that shawl before, which, like I said, that is work because I am going to turn it into a pattern eventually. But it was more that I just was craving garter stitch, I think, more than anything that I started it. But as far as work goes, I am taking like a little bit of a break. I'm still doing things that have to, quote, keep the lights on in the business. But I don't have any like upcoming deadlines right now, which is a very freeing feeling, and also why I've been reading so much. But it's just kind of nice, I think, you know, to take that break every once in a while and give my creative juices a chance to flow again without, you know, being weighed down by like a lot of deadlines and things. So I don't have really like a lot of work stuff happening. I did have this new pattern come out. I think I might have shared it last time. It's called Boothbay, and it is available on Ravelry. And so I'm always late on the trends. It uses mini skeins. And so it's a wrap that's knit on the bias, and you use each mini skein twice. So you can see here. that like the whites at the end and then it goes to the red in the middle. So anyway, I'll leave a link to that below. That one's on Ravelry. And then other than that, I'm just getting ready to go to the TNNA trade show, which isn't until June, but because I'm trying to just give myself a little more relaxing time in my business right now, I'm actually starting prep for that right now. I'm going to have a booth there for just one day. The Business Creative Services area of TNNA allows like designers and people that have businesses that support the industry in other ways, like tech editors, people that do websites, all kinds of things. They can have a booth if they want. And so I'm just working on relabeling all my samples, which is going to be quite an undertaking, and like updating my teaching brochure. So it's more like computer type work that I'm doing right now versus like a lot of knitting work. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. So I think probably for the next month or so, I'll be finishing up that stripy shawl, I'm sure. Hopefully I'll get the April socks done. Maybe I'll have the April and May socks done in May. That would be nice. And then, yeah, I'm hoping to sort of get back to that Brunswick sweater as well, because I would like to get it done before the summer so I'd have a chance to wear it before it gets too hot. So I think that's it for today. So if you liked this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos, including more coffee catch-ups, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So that's it for me for today. I hope that everybody has a great week. Happy knitting and crocheting and crafting, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.